let's get started with our live talk. I can't get myself started, emotions in sport and leisure. Welcome to this event. My name is Inken Schubert. I'm an account manager at INSITE. And as you well know, INSITE is the provider of the EAP, which your company has installed. This might be Talingo ERP or mein ERP, or maybe Sprechstunde Psychische Gesundheit. I'm the host of this event, and as you can see, I'm not alone. I brought two colleagues. And Nora, I'd like to start with you. Would you please introduce yourself and tell us what you're going to do today in this talk?
Yes, thank you very much, Inken. My name is Nora, and I will be overseeing the chat today. Before I start with the chat, you will see that you have different sections and different modules on your screen that you can move around and like make it bigger or smaller and customize to your liking, so to speak. There's one section called Questions to the Speaker, and this is where you can enter all the questions that you have regarding this talk. Your questions will be submitted anonymously, so no one will be able to read them other than me, and I will try my best to include them into this conversation, and of course our expert will try his best to answer them. In case there are too many questions or the questions are maybe a little too specific, we might make a selection, so please bear with us if we can't answer every question, but please feel free to pose your questions and we will try our best to answer them.
Thank you, Nora. And Frederick, it's on you. Frederick is our expert today. He's an expert on the topic of mental health, and he will answer my question today.
Yes, thank you for the invitation. And my name is Frederick Pinger. I'm from the counseling by EAP, and yes, I'm built in trauma and systemic. And I'm very happy to be here and to answer the questions, and we will see what it will be.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. Before we dive into the topic, let me say a few words about this event. You're going to see it's not going to be a scientific lecture. And of course, it cannot replace an individual counseling, but it's meant to give you some ideas or some impulses. We just want to talk about it and, as Nora said, include your questions. So it's about leisure, it's about sport, it's about emotion. I guess when you think about the things you do in your leisure time, might be traveling or meeting friends or doing sport, exercises, whatever, maybe go jogging or train for a marathon even. I think, or I believe that these actions arise pleasant feelings in you, but sometimes we also have not so pleasant or negative feelings. And we want to have a look at it. How can I use these positive feelings maybe to bring me to better results or have more success and more achievements? And on the other hand, how can I deal with the negative feelings so that they don't paralyze me, so that they don't keep me from doing things that would be good for me? So Frederick, my first question is, what can you tell us about emotions in sport and leisure?
Okay, great question. If I think about it, I think we can start with one point. So if you talk about emotions in sports and leisure, I would ask you, every reviewer, a question, and the question is, what has made you feel really good and satisfied recently in the era of sport leisure activities? So think about the last month or weeks or years in your biography. When did you do something in sports or in leisure, and how did it feel? So you can take a moment. I take a moment too, and let's think together on one situation. So like a great walk, with our dogs. One other point, every idea is okay. And so if you have it before your eye, in front of your eyes, then think about it. What did you feel? So if I think about the walks with the dog, for example, I feel a lot of silence. It's quiet. I start to smile. I feel very good. So this is one point. And so I think I can tell you a lot of things about emotions and sport, but I think the most important point is that you feel these things. So it's very, very important that you try to feel it now. And then yes, you can save this memory. So and you can react it. So I will tell you later more about it. But I think it's a good start that you can see that you have something positive and from this situation. So try to think about this situation, and then you know what are emotions and sport and leisure. So you can feel it, and this the main point that emotions are there, but you can feel these emotions now in this moment and in the future too. So I think this is one very important point about this.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if the audience is ready already, but I thought about my bike training, which I recently started with. And I never did this before, but the other day I managed to climb a hill, which I actually was a little bit afraid of before, but I did it. I managed to do it, and I was so proud, and I was feeling strong and powerful, and when I'm thinking about it, I still have this feeling, this pride and this confidence and the feeling strong. So that's great. I wonder how powerful emotions are, because I'm not in this situation right now, but I can somehow, they are stored in my brain or wherever, and I can call them back to come back to me.
Yeah, great. That's the point I meant. So emotions are our key drivers. Emotions motivate us, the positive emotions, and they give us drive. And we can do a lot of things by emotions and to get motivated. So I hope a lot of people from the listener knows it. And also, I think one true point is what is not always easy, but it's very important, that the negative emotions are also there. So they can get us in frustration. We can be afraid of something, and so we are not motivated. So, but I want to say you should allow them to be there. So don't say the negative emotions should be not there. They are very important for you. So they have to be there because they are there, and you can't take them away and never come back. So I think that's very important, and it's a great example from you, Inken. So yeah, but I think the key point is that emotions are our drivers. They the key drivers of our behavior. They motivate us, of course. Yes.
So, well, I spoke about strength and confidence. What other positive emotions are there? What would you say? Which emotions are there? And what can I do to use them in a positive way? To use them in order to achieve a success, for example, or to be, I don't know, to feel better or whatever.
Yes, I think if you do this and get the emotions, and you can have different needs which you can fill. So for one example is you can get a relaxation through the work and relax in and after it. also you can have satisfaction through a sense of achievement. So in the end, you say, wow, I did it. So, and you are proud of yourself. And I see, or you can see, if I talk about being proud of myself, I think I feel a lot of bigger than I am in this moment. So it's great to feel it, and I have power. I build myself up, and I'm great. So, and also one key point is that you can have satisfaction through social context. So it's, of course, it's sometimes good and important to do something alone, but also you, if you're not in the situation that you can reach it on your own, then it's sometimes can be great that if you go running, do it in a group or something else, and then you feel this social context, you feel the emotions from the social context, because you have your own emotions and everyone brings emotions into this group. So, and you have like a team building, a group building, and then you can have a lot of emotions and strong emotions, and then you can find a way. And yes, I think doing something together is very important or very good for these emotions, and they can help you to be motivated. So it's very important. And if I think about it, the own things and the group things, and I talk about relaxation, I think in my mind comes directly the inner peace. So if I go jogging, or in your example, like biking, and after it, you can feel an inner peace, because in your brain is there happens a lot of things during the sport or activity or your free time activities, and after it you can feel a lot of inner peace, because you need it. Everyone needs. Everyone has a need. Everyone can have something about this active things. And also it's sometimes important to be not active. I think we come later to it. But yes, this is one point. And if I can go on, your second question was what can help you to stay in this motivation, I think.
Well, how can I use them actively, these emotions?
Yeah, you can use them. Example, remember, like our start, you can remember the feeling after the activity. So if I was yesterday jogging, and after it I felt very great, then I try to think about this. So, and if in the next days I want to go jogging, then I think about the situation after it, and then I can remember my feelings after this activity or in this activity, and then they come back to me, and I see, yeah, great, I want to do it again, I want to have the feeling back. And if I think about, the feeling comes. And also you can push your feelings like with music. So I stay in the example by jogging. It's very often in my situation, it's always that I hear music by jogging. So, and the music motivates me. And if I hear the music in another sequence, it's also motivation for me, because I have so much positive feelings and powerful feelings in this situation by music. And this is very, very important. And also it can be helpful to have some images or to some materials to have by yourself. It can be motivateful that if you have an image from this, I don't know, the nature where you have been jogging, and you see yourself there and you have positive feelings because it looks great. There's the sea, there's garden, flowers, sun, what else? Sometimes rain, okay. But I think if you save these images, you can use them in the future. So it's always the point that these activities you do, you should be mindful in this situation, so that you can have them back in the future. This is one very important point. And then last one sentence too. after these activities, you can celebrate them. You can be proud of yourself. I said before, so it's very great that you say, "Wow, yeah, I'm great. I did it. I can do it, and I'm motivated." And I think this is very great. You are allowed to celebrate yourself. Also, little steps. Like I did the steps to my office. So, for example, and there are 10 or 20 steps I did, and it's great. I did it, and I can be happy about it. And so it's very, very good and helpful to celebrate successes. So every success can be celebrated, and it's very great. Yes.
That's interesting. I think this has a lot to do with consciousness and mindfulness,
Yeah.
because I think that often we don't take the time just to let the feelings come up and let the emotions come up and just go on to the next topic on our list. That's interesting. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's a good idea to celebrate my efforts and to celebrate my success. We're talking about positive emotions right now. I'd like to come back to the more negative emotions in a second, but first of all, I want to ask Nora if there are any questions that would fit in here.
Yes, I think there's a very interesting question. You've mentioned a few times to focus on the positive emotions to kind of try to get yourself going. And someone asked if there is any risk to become addicted to this process or get addicted to physical activity because you use it to seek out positive emotions.
Can you repeat the last sentence? My internet was away.
Yes, of course. The question was if there is a risk to become addicted to physical activity because you use it to seek out positive emotions.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. Great question. Yes, I think it can be a risk, of course, but I would do it in two different ways. In one way, it's always the healthy way to see the motivation and to do it in a realistic way. So how looks your day and how can I use this key points? And I think this is the healthy way. And you have a risk to be addicted about this and to come into a way what is not healthy, then you have to look at the points behind this. So I think if you have a risk, or do you see that you are addicted to this, it's very important that you ask yourself, or with an expert, it's still okay. Why is it like this? And so it can be just an example. You have any other need what is not filled in yourself, or in your biography there are any things you've never seen, or in your social group it's not an easy group because you always think about that you want to reach something but you can't reach it until you are addicted. And I want to do this two parts of it. So the one point is always the healthy way, and then you can do it and be motivated, and it's great. And the other point is if you see that there is a risk to be addicted, then it's always very important to talk about it, and not directly to stop this. It's not always the easiest way, because then it can change and come into other moments in your life. So it's always then important to ask yourself, or with an expert, the question, why am I addicted to it, and where comes it from, and what should I do? So because then I would say that's important to ask it. And so yes, I hope this is a good question for the answer. And yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I guess a healthy perspective is always necessary for anything, really. There are a few more questions, but as you said, Inken, they're more pertaining towards the negative emotions, and I think they will be answered in the course of this live talk.
Okay. If not, Nora, you can include them
of course
at a later point. Okay. Thank you. Frederick, what you just said, it was interesting, and I'd like to repeat the recommendation or the invitation for the ones who have something or want to talk about this topic, especially this topic of addiction or other negative, negative connotations of this. Please don't hesitate to use the EAP counseling. You can just call us and talk this through with one of our counselors, so we don't have to do it alone. And especially if there is this topic of addiction. Okay, one more thing about these positive emotions. When you talked about it, I was thinking about mindfulness and also this positive thinking or this manifestation, so that you might think, oh, I just have to manifest, I just have to think I will do it and believe in me and believe that I can do it and I can do anything I want. So does this work? I fear it doesn't work, because if it worked, I would have run a marathon, but I can't. So that's true. So how much power has this positive thinking or this manifestation of reaching goals?
Yeah, I see the great example by the marathon. Of course, it's not possible that you run a marathon or an Ironman if you just say, "Oh, I can do it. Okay, I'll start and then let's go." So, at the one point, positive thinking is important. It's great and can help you a lot. So, it's like positive thinking. I would say it's like to think about solutions. So if you have any difficult things in your routines, in your daily life or what else, then positive thinking can help you that you come to a solution and don't manifestate the things what does not work. But we have to be realistic. So it's always the key point by this positive thinking is to know yourself, to be mindful with yourself. What is realistic? What are my skills? What can I do? And if I know myself very, very good, and I'm very mindful to myself, to my needs, and then positive thinking can help me to reach the things I can reach. So, and it's positive thinking is not the way to do something or to reach something what I can motivate it, and you can reach the things you can reach by you have to have the skills, and it's I think realistic is the word. So of course it's helpful, but the key point is to know yourself and to be realistic what you can do. Yeah, that's a great example.
And again, I hear this mindfulness, this consciousness, this knowing yourself and thinking about myself before I start anything or decide what my training goals are.
Yes, great. Sorry if I disturb, but I think training is one great point. If you know your skills, you can train your skills. So positive thinking can help you to reach your you can do this, but you can do little training steps. If you want to run a marathon, to talk about your example, then you can say, oh, okay, tomorrow I can do it, and I'm positive that I can reach this kilometer. And I did it, great, and I celebrate myself, like I said before, and then in the next days I think about it. I say, okay, what is now my skill? What is realistic? What I can do? Okay, the second kilometer, great. And then I run 3 times the second kilometer. But then we can go into a training process, and then you can read new. You can reach new things. But it's not just during positive thinking. It's always with the training, and the positive thinking is a great skill what can help you to find solutions for difficult things.
Okay, but this leads me directly to the negative emotions, because when you talked about 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, that's exactly my situation. And I realized that I don't want just to start, because I know that my friend, she's running 10 kilometers and that's no problem for her, or even 20 or 30. And I feel so intimidated and I feel so small, and I just don't want to start with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know what you mean. And it's always difficult if you see other people and you want to do the same things and they are not realistic. And so, of course, it's normally it's completely okay to be frustrated or to say, oh no, I can't just get started because I will never reach this. But there is one point what is very important to think about it and to ask the question, what do I need to start? So just for one example. So if you say you want to run 1 or 2 kilometers and you see 10 kilometers by your friends, and then it's not the way you can start. But if we are back by the point of mindfulness, but if you ask yourself the question, I want to reach 1 kilometer, what do I need to do this? And just yourself, just you as a person and no one else. So it can be that you want to reach 1 kilometer, but the first step can be a walk for 1 kilometer. It's completely okay. And you have to find a way to find a way to work with the inner resistance. So your inner conflicts. So why are you not able to start it now? So, and to say, if I don't reach this kilometer, it's still okay. My game is to start and not to finish. So, and I think sometimes it's unrealistic expectations, and sometimes it's the question, what is your need to reach it?
Well, you spoke about inner conflicts and somebody or that holds me back. And I think this is a problem that most of us will know. We know, for example, sport is good for us, but still we can't get ourselves started. Although we know that sport can evoke positive emotions, although we know that we will be proud of ourselves afterwards, we just can't get started. We just sit on the sofa and don't get up. So why is that?
I think it's the same like by healthy food. Of course, I know an apple is better for me than chocolate, and also movement is better for me as to stay on the sofa or the couch. But the question, is it really like this? Because everyone has needs, so and the needs should be filled. It's very important because everyone can reach new things after they filled your needs. And if you are on the couch and you think about the situation that you want to go jogging, but it does not work, and then it's very negative. You are frustrated, you are scared of what else, and it's the very strongful emotions, and it's no positive feeling. But then I think one point is that you can ask yourself, what is your need? Is your need is really your need to go for a walk or to go jogging, or can be your need that you have to allow yourself to sit on a couch, for example. And if you think about it, then you can fill your need by silence. So your need is silence, and you can fill your need, and you can allow yourself to have the silence. So, and then you can relax very, very better because you allow yourself to have the silence. And then if you feel this need, then it's the next point that you have new needs. And if your need for silence is filled, then comes another. And then comes the need for movement. So then is the point where you can move, and so allow yourself to you have in your brain what you should do. So it's always to allow yourself the need you have now, and you can fulfill them.
But to be honest, maybe I always have the need to sit on my couch and eat pizza and watch TV, and there's never coming up the need to move.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I think it's 2 points. So the one side is, do you feel really your need, or is it anything else? So if you sit on the couch, it can be a routine or what else. So, but if you really ask yourself, what is my need, and then you can see that eating pizza on the couch or what else is not always your need. And if you say there comes never the need to move, for example, then you can also find a way to try it out, and you do little steps, so step by step, and see if there is a need to move, and then you can react back by the feelings and emotions when you did this, and you feel happy. Then and it's just a harder way to see that there was a need.
Okay, so sometimes it's good just to do it, although I don't feel like it, and do it in small steps, and then benefit from the positive emotions that will come afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
That's very important.
Okay. Okay. Nora, can I ask you, are there some other questions in the chat?
Yes, there is actually one more question, again, pertaining to the positive emotions that we need to look out for. Someone asked, though, if they want to start a completely new activity and they kind of don't have a reference point for that positive feeling that they're trying to imagine, what can they do? It's like they just don't have that reference because it's a completely new activity.
Yeah, great question. Because I think if you have the motivation to do something new, I think one fact is that you have one positive memory about it, because you have a reason to be motivated for something new. And of course, you did it not, and you don't have the memory you don't have the memory by doing this activity, but you have the in your mind, you have the wish that you do this, and this is also positive. And then you can imagine how will it look like if I do this, and you ask a question, what do I think, how do I feel after I did this new thing? So, and then you can build up your emotions, and then you can do this, and this can be very, very motivated to do this.
It's such an interesting angle, yeah, because then it's not so much about actually having lived that experience, but just the fact that you can envision how you might feel afterwards might be enough reason to get you going. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I was just thinking about, in German we say, when we can't motivate ourselves and just can't get started, we talk about this inner pig dog. This is literal translation. I know you don't say it in English. You will say maybe inner bastard or inner demon or inner saboteur or something like this. So my inner demon sometimes just says, I just stay there and don't make the effort. He makes me feel reluctant to make the effort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's too lazy.
Great. Yeah. Too lazy is also great. Okay, let's start with in a pig dog, in a diamond. I know the German word, of course. So it's you should, if you have this, or if you see this, or if you hear this in a pig dog, in a diamond, don't fight against him. So it's
Okay.
take him as your friend. So say, hey, how are you? And what do you want to say to me? So let's talk together. So because you have a reason that you stay in front of me and say, no, you don't do this now. So, but then you don't go on a fight and try to get him away, because he's there. And then you ask him and yourself, of course, okay, why should I not do this? And how should I can do this? Is it a way that you find smaller steps that you can reach? Or should I do something else? Or what is my need? Or we said already. And I think it's very important. Don't fight against him. So just talk with him. So you can draw a picture or imagine how does he look like, and then go into a talk and he has to talk with him, because he has a reason to be there. So he's not there to to be not nice to you. It's not the reason. So he's there because there is a reason, and try to find out what is the reason, why is he there.
Okay. So I can imagine that there are different ways to deal with this in a demon or pig dog. So maybe you just proposed to talk to him in a friendly way, but I sometimes I sometimes prefer just to ignore it, just do whatever I think I ought to do, and ignore the voice, the inner voice. And I imagine that there are different ways of dealing with the pig dog.
Yes, of course. You can imagine a wall. So if there is a wall, and for example the wall can be this pig dog, if you run into the wall, it can hurt. So it's not easy. So that's the point I said. You don't should fight. So but you can build more strongness. Then you come over the wall. So you can reach your finish and to go over the wall, but you need more power for this. You can have more power after more sleep, after heavy food, after what else. So after mindset things, and so you go over it. If you are not in the situation to build the strongness, you can go around the wall. So of course it's a longer way, but you can find new ways that you can reach your finish. So it's you can be creative. Sorry. Then you can find a way to go left. You can go right, or you can build something under the wall. It can be difficult too, but I think this is the point. And also, I want to come back to this wall. It's very important to understand why is the wall there. And but it's completely right. You can find different things, and sometimes it can be a social thing. Sometimes a friend or a colleague or what else can help you to find the way behind the wall. So if you talk to other people and you socialize, then you have more ideas, more solutions, and then you can find a way. And it's not always just your own point. You are allowed, or you are able to talk with other people about it.
I have experienced that having a routine is good for me, so that I don't have to think, do I go to the gym today? Because it's Monday, and of course I go to the gym on Monday.
Yeah. Routines. I think routines on one way, it can be very good, because I'm in my way, I'm on the routines, I know what will come, but no one likes too much hypothesis, so it's completely okay to have them. But the key point is, if you have a routine, or you want to start a new routine, like every Monday to go to the gym or what else, and it does not work. What will happen? There are a lot of negative situations because every Monday I sit on my couch and say, oh no, it, it, it doesn't work. So, okay, next Monday, next try. Okay, let's go. And it does not work. Okay, negative, negative, negative. And it's not good. And I think one way to start a new routine, for example, is like technique with calendars. So don't think about that you have to do it now every Monday for the next 10 years, because you have 10 years of negative things that can be. And it's very more important to try it on Monday, for example. Okay, I have about one date, one meeting with myself. On Monday, I try it, and if I don't reach it, so if it doesn't work, then I think about it on Monday. When can be a time where it does work. So I think about it, I think about the week, and I say, okay, for example, on Wednesday. So I have the time. I think there is not the start of the week. It can be also not always easy. And then you have one more meeting, one more date with yourself, one situation. To 8 p.m., for example. And then you fill this time. And if it does not work in the second time, in the Wednesday, then you know already what to do after it. So if you said I want to go to spur from 6 to 8 on Wednesday, it's on one point it's important to know what to do after this, because you should not be in the situation that you try it more and more and more, and then you try it from 6 to 10 and it does not work anymore, and it's more harder. And it's a good way to have a safe date and a safe hour, and also just one. And also the question, why does it not work? So was it my motivation? Was it too near by my work? Was it too far by my work, or what else? So I think to start a routine is always with one meeting and not 30. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's a great relief, because usually you think, oh, this is a fixed date and I have to fulfill it for the next 2 years. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So again, I think this self-compassion plays a big role in all this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's right. But let me. I think about it, because it's completely right. Yes, but it's always to know how you can have something like discipline or what else. So how do I go around with myself, and how can I go into a way to have this compassion? So you don't have this from startup. So you have to know, how can I come into this? Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But can you say, do you have some, I'd say, small tips or something like that? How, if I come to the conclusion, okay, there's nothing that stands against it. I have the time now. I'm principally motivated.
Okay.
What can be steps to loosen or to get over this blockage?
Yeah, okay. I think I want to tell you about the emotion types. I think it's good to know what type is mine. So as there are four emotion types are there. The one emotion type is, for example, the suppressor. He ignored needs and until they are exhausted. So this is the first. Another is the perfectionist. He does not start if not everything is great. So everything should be optimal, and then I can start. And this is a perfectionist. And the overachiever is the third. Has so many construction sites that free time seems like a luxury. So he does not have the time. So, and the fourth is the pleasure seeker, and he follows positive impulses, and but there is no structure. So, and they are all completely okay, but they are all there. And if you, as a listener, or myself, or you think about it, what is your emotion type? So then you can find a better way to get a motivation, because of course, if you are the pleasure seeker, it's not your way to build your completely calendar or structures, and so it's not your way. So, and I think this is the point. What is good for this question to know. So it's one way, and also if like I want to take with it in that it's always the point that always little steps. See what is realistic, and these points, and to accept that you are allowed to failure one or two steps. It's completely okay. Yes.
I remember once I wanted to go for a jog, and I really didn't have the motivation. And then I persuaded myself to just go out and jog for 5 minutes. You just thought, okay, 5 minutes will be fine. And as I dressed up and then went out, and I had been running for 5 minutes, I thought, okay, another 5 minutes. Okay, it was fine. Okay, another 5 minutes. And so my jogging got longer and longer, and I managed to run for half an hour, although I had started with 5 minutes, and I was really proud. This was tricky, but it was good. It worked.
Yeah, and one other example, if you talk about, if I can tell, is there by jogging or going for a walk or biking or what else, is one idea is always to know before you start what is your route. So how long, and then after 100 meter left on this sea around this forest or what else, and you have a straight way. This is one point, and that can help you to know where's your finish. And the other idea is sometimes I try too, and that you start. So, and then you run and you think about, right, during the run you see what you want to do. So you do left, right, left, and then you say, okay, I run along here, and okay, now it's okay. So you run after your needs, and you don't have to do this completely route, because it's completely okay to run so long as you want to run. And these are two types you can do. And of course, not everything is running. It's right, but I think by running, it's always easier to explain it.
Yeah. But I think this is really one of the key points, to be able to say it's okay. It's okay if I don't reach the goal I had put myself. It's okay. I'm still okay.
Yeah, you are okay, and you can allow yourself to be okay. And that's and also it's start first and the feeling comes later is one sentence I want to say. Then the trick is to be not demotivated by the ideal. Of course, there are a lot of people who runs a marathon every day. I don't know, but I think the people are in the world then set appointments or make appointments, make the activity so small that it seems almost ridiculous. So you want to run 5 kilometers, okay, set the finish after 3, and then you are okay. And don't expect heroic deeds. So it's always okay. And I think if you think about these things and about the mindfulness things, what we had already, I think everyone, I know it's a difficult sentence, but I really say that everyone can motivate yourself. So everyone has a possibility to be motivated. You just have to know, how can I be motivated? And just a short sentence. Of course, it's another theme, but if you have something like depressive, if you are depressive, have other symptoms. What else for symptoms from your mind? It's still possible, but you have to find other ways. So you have to do smaller steps or what else. So it's not unable. It's still able, but you have to find another way. And yes, I think this is one point I just want to say.
Okay. Nora, are there some more questions to integrate?
Yes, there's a few more questions. I think some of them we have answered, but I think one is particularly interesting, and pertains again to the positive outcome that we're supposed to seek. You mentioned earlier that if you don't have a reference point of that positive feeling, that it might be enough to just visualize the outcome, or visualize or imagine kind of how we might feel at the end. And someone asked, is there a way like to kind of help us visualize that target? Because I think, sure, maybe some people have an easier time imagining the outcome, and some people might have have it a bit more difficult to do that. So yeah, is there anything with they asked if there is a text or a song or a picture that they can look at and trigger that motivation?
Yes, I think it's individual, of course, so not for everyone is the same point right. But or one important one thing is to visualize it. So it should be out of your mind, and for paper or in a notebook or what else, or in words, it's still okay. And this is the point. I think it's you can do, or you should do, because not just in your mind, it has to come out. So it's always easier to think about it and to see what will come. Because if I write down some words, my mind goes on and on and on. If I start to draw a picture, I think my pictures are, I don't want to think about how they would look like, but it's okay. And also, to do what else. So it's just the key point is to bring it out of your mind into paper or what else, or in words, or just talk about it, talk with other people. It's okay, yes.
Okay, so basically anything that helps set that vision more in stone, I guess. Okay. Right. Do we have room for one more question?
Yes, of course.
I think there is one. Okay. There is one more question, because I think a lot of what we said and that is helpful is, again, kind of focusing on the positive emotion. But someone asked, like, how can they work with that previous negative emotion, like maybe that frustration or feeling overwhelmed? Because I think the way we've been phrasing this is a bit more like posing like negative emotions and positive as like a duality, and like maybe is there a way to work with those negative emotions instead of past them?
Yeah, I think of course it's unrealistic to live 24/7 with positive emotions and just to be motivated, and that's not realistic. So, but so it's great that you say this, because it's right. And it's always, if you imagine waves, I hope everyone knows those waves, and the motivation is when the wave goes up. So, and you are demotivated or frustrated when the wave goes down. So, and the skill is, or the technique is, to not have to this big waves. So more bigger the waves, then you come. Oh, it's great when you come up, but it's very hard to fall down. And so it should be regulated, emotional regulation. And if you reach it, you can have smaller waves, but the waves can be a little bit higher and regulated. So, and I think this is the point, what is very important, because of course no one from us and from the whole world, I would say, is on the point that he's just motivated and just positive and always powerful. And if you know the people, you can tell me, but I think it's not able.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much, because I think a lot of questions were talking about, well, but the negative emotions are so strong, and like, how can I really overcome them? And I think that puts that into perspective a lot more.
Yeah, and I think, sorry, just one sentence, but I think if you are very deep in your negative emotions and I just want to say that it's at the first time it's completely okay, but you can find a solution, but the solution is very individual. So it's not this should do everyone and then you will get healthy or great or what's else. So be very, very individual, be self or be by yourself. And I think this is important. Our target now is for a lot of people, and everyone can take this piece of our talk what is good for him, and not every piece of our talk is for everyone great. So it's completely okay, and you can see if you are a lot of by demotivation or frustration, and you can think what is for your individual great, and talk to other people, talk to expert or what else, and then you can find your way. But it should be your way. It should not be the way I talk to you today or what else, and it should be your way.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Frederick. I have a look at the clock, and it's almost time to leave. But let me say what I've understood. So I think we all agree that as we are getting older and have to manage to keep our body okay, there's no way around doing some exercise. So this is important for our sanity, and we have to do it. But on the other hand, there are negative feelings there. We have this blockage. We don't want to. We're too lazy. We're too whatever. But we have to do it. So we have to find a way to convince ourselves, to convince our inner saboteur to let us exercise. And what you say is that there is an individual way for every one of us. You just have to find it. You just have to find how can I be motivated? What I need so that I can find the way to a routine or whatever, so that I can do good things for my body.
Yeah, great. So I think it can be a little bit hope sometimes that, of course, these are my words, but it can bring hope that everyone has an individual way, and it's not always easy, but you can find the way, and it's completely okay. Yes.
And maybe again, I might recommend or might invite you to use the EAP counseling even for these topics, because there's more behind it, as you have heard now. There's more behind it. It's not just how can I fight the pig dog, but it's a very individual, very personal question. So don't hesitate to use the EAP counseling. Frederick, takeaway message. What can you say? What would be your last message for us?
Yeah. Okay. My last message for you and for myself too, I think is I want to come to the positive feelings. It's great to end with positive feelings. So everyone can do it with us. Like at the start, let's think on a positive feeling. And now, in this moment, when you felt great or motivated or what else, save this memory, save the feelings, the emotions, boost yourself with these emotions. Take something like a stone or what else you have for materials. Take it in your hand, say, hey, this is my motivation. I feel it with the stone in my hand or what else. And then you can find, for example, today, motivation. You can go out, you can have power, and so save your emotions and do it for your memories. I think it's a good way. And then you can have personal growth. So it's more than one sentence, but I think one message. Yeah.
Thank you, Frederick. Thank you a lot for your expertise, for sharing it with us.
For your questions.
And to the audience, when you leave this event, we would be very pleased if you left us a feedback. There's a feedback box on your screen, and you can answer the 4 or 5 questions. That would be very nice And to do this, I'd like to ask you to enlarge the box because otherwise you just can see the first question, but there are five. So leave us a feedback. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for listening, and I wish you a very happy day. And maybe you find the motivation to do some exercise today or do whatever is good for you. And have a good day.
Yes.
Thank you
too, Inken, and see
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.